My next guest is coming off another impressive victory, this time first round finish over John Yannis at UFC Vegas 108 back on August 2nd. It's Austin Bashi back here on the program. Austin, how you doing, man?
Doing real good. Thank you. How about yourself? How are you?
I'm doing awesome, but I did not get a first round finish on the weekend. Could that fight have gone any better? They don't pay you by the hour.
Yeah, felt real good getting that finish. It was a big win for me, and especially getting it done in the first round was big as well.
Yeah, and obviously you were supposed to fight Francis Marshall. You get your new opponent, the week of. How much of an adjustment was that, or is it one of those things? I mean, you're sort of used to this on the regional scene, where if your opponent switches up, you got to worry about what you're good at, not so much on the opponent, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Anytime I get these opponent switches, like you're saying, it happened to me a lot on the regional scene. Anytime it happened to me, you don't have too much time to really adjust yourself. So you just kind of do what you're good at and make the right reads in the fight and go off of that.
Were you worried you wouldn't get to fight? Because I know it was kind of creeping up to fight time, and they obviously shout out to your management team, Iridium. I know they're always good about finding opponents and stuff and helping with the UFC. But did you think you might not get to fight on this card?
I was getting a little worried, but Sean Shelby said, "You're gonna fight, don't worry." So when he said that, I was pretty confident I was gonna get a fight.
Did you know much about your opponent, or was it one of those things you just let your coaches figure it out and then kind of relayed it to you going into the fight?
Yeah, I didn't know much. It was my coaches that watched some fights of his. We only really had 4 days, but with those 4 days, they told me a little bit about him. And but like I was saying, we made the reads in the fight itself.
Yeah. Is there much you can take away? Because again, it was such a quick fight. Like, was there anything about him that surprised you? Anything in the fight that maybe you weren't expecting, or was it kind of what you thought was going to happen going in?
I knew he had knockout power because he knocked out his last 3 guys. So I made sure to be very cautious of his stand-up striking and making sure my footwork and feints and defense was real tight.
Good stuff. And obviously one of the nice things too about this fight was that you got to fight a little bit earlier. How did you celebrate after the win?
Yeah, I had a good amount of family come out to Vegas again. Probably like 30 people from Michigan came out.
Nice.
And afterwards, we just kind of all went back to our hotel and grabbed some food together and just had a good time with them.
That's good. What did you eat after the fight? Because I know you're dieting during camp and stuff. Did you get to eat anything good?
I had a bunch of different spots up, some burgers, pizza, milkshakes. I pretty much had a little bit of everything.
Good. That's smart. Again, I know this is a fresh win, but when would you like to have that next fight? If you could sort of pick and choose, when would you like to get back in there?
I'm hoping October or November. My goal was to have 3 to 4 fights in the beginning of the year. I said that, and so I'm really hoping October or November get in there again.
Do you want to fight in Vegas? I know they have that UFC 320 card, I think is in October. They've got a couple fight night cards as well. And any cards you're looking at, or just like October, and then we'll figure it out from there?
Honestly, I would love to fight in front of a big crowd. I've only fought in the Apex my last 3 fights, Contender Series, and then the 2 UFCs. So if they could get me on a card with a big crowd, that would be very cool. Okay,
there we go. That's the first step. And what about an opponent? Again, you're coming off a win here. Any fights that you look at in your division, you think that would be a fun one, or you kind of leave that up to the UFC? What's sort of the outlook for your next fight?
I kind of just leave that up to the UFC, whatever they want. And but that Francis Marshall fight was going to be a good fight. I was very excited about that one. So if they could get that rebooked, I would for sure go for it.
Was he injured? Like, did you ever get a reason why he was out of the fight?
He had a rib injury. I think he broke his rib in camp.
Oh, shoot. Okay. So yeah, it might take a bit for him to heal up, but yeah, that I'm assuming that's top priority, is maybe get that fight rebooked, just because, again, I agree. That was a really good matchup, I think, for both you guys, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree for sure. Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight.
And helps that you guys have the same management, so negotiations are probably a little bit easier, right, than having to go through a third party, right? So
yeah,
that makes sense. And then what do you got planned the rest of the week? I know you're back home in Michigan. Do you take a bit of time off and kind of just see friends and family, or are you just going to get right back in the gym? What's the plan for this week?
Yeah, this week I'm just going to pretty much be with friends, family, go out to eat, go out to restaurants, and just have a good time. And come Monday, I'll come back to my normal routine, but this week, just enjoy it.
Good stuff. Diego Lopes, I know you got to train with him. I imagine that got set up through your management? Like, how did you end up training with him? Because that was obviously for his last fight against Volkanovski.
Yeah, I got set up through Iridium. We have the same management team, and he called me over, and I went there, and we're with each other for like I was saying, like 40 days or something, and me and him are super close now, and we have a real good relationship, and about to be going out there soon again.
Cool. How is it with I know he doesn't speak, perfect English. How's the language barrier? I guess you guys can still communicate pretty well.
Yeah, he has good enough English where we can still talk, have a full conversation. So that was good.
That's awesome. So he's going to bring you out. Obviously, his fight's coming up on the 13th. So, are you going to go out and help him? Is that sort of the plan right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on in the next couple of weeks, and I'll be with him in Mexico, and then be with him in Texas. So I'll be there.
What does that mean to you? I mean, you're still a really young fighter, and you have one of the best featherweights in the world wanting to work with you. That's got to feel pretty cool, just knowing that you're helping one of the top guys in your division.
Yeah, man, it's really, really cool, and he's very, very nice guy, very humble, and for him to choose me to always come out, means a lot to me. He's probably one of the nicest guy there is, and I remember even in his Volkanovski fight, he's getting ready for a championship fight, and he's putting so much time into trying to help me get better, and he's just a great, great guy, and I'm excited to be going out there again.
Have you ever talked to him about coming out to Michigan? You could show him your way of living and all that, right?
Yeah, I think actually he's coming out here in September.
Oh, nice.
After his fight. He'll be
okay,
here for
cool.
a little bit.
Now, if you were to take someone to your hometown, where would you take? Like, obviously, you guys are going to train, but is there any places in particular that you like showing people that are from out of town? Maybe places that you go to frequently or anything like that?
Yeah, downtown Detroit, which is like 30 minutes away from me. It's always busy down there. It's always fun, a bunch of things to do down there. So that's for sure a place to go.
Yeah, it is nice down there. So I went to the Detroit card the last time the UFC was there. That was the what fight was that? That was Ngannou and Overeem, and I forget that pay-per-view that's there. But man, is that downtown area nice with like Little Caesars Arena? They really made it like really cool down there with a lot of cool restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, they have everything there. All the restaurants. You could, especially in the summertime and springtime, a lot of people just walk outside late nights, and it's a fun spot to be at.
One thing I wanted to mention before we get out of here, a guy that you were supposed to fight a long time ago. I do see he's fighting on Contender Series, Tommy McMillan. I know there's some bad blood there, but is that a fight down the line you could see happening in the UFC? I know you're way further ahead than he is. You've had, you got coming off the UFC victory in your last fight, but do you see yourselves crossing paths if he does get signed to the UFC?
If he does get signed, I'd love to fight him. I'd love to get my hands on him. That's a fight I really, really would want, but that whole Contender Series thing that happened of him declining me 3 days before the fight, he's got to work his way up before he could fight me.
Okay, fair enough. And it's interesting too, because like you have such a big fan base. Like I know you know this, obviously the 30 people that came out, he has a big fan base as well. I remember when that whole thing happened, there was a lot of people kind of talking about it. So I think maybe down the line, like you said, if the opportunity comes up, maybe that could be interesting just from the fan perspective, I would think.
For sure, I think it will be a big fight. I think there's a lot of eyes on it then, and now there's a little bit story to it, so I think it would be a huge fight.
Austin, thanks for making time, man. We're looking forward to what's next for you. If you got any sponsors or social media or anything you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, on Instagram, just add Austin Bashi, and then my sponsors, thank you for always supporting me, and to all my family and fans for all the love and support. Thank you, guys.